Welcome to the MBPI Home Inspection Network. Good morning, everyone. This is Todd Whiting from MBPI Home Inspection Network, and today we're talking to Elias Papadopoulos. He is the owner of Remax Unlimited, a very successful real estate firm out of Brookline, Mass. Elias, say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself. What should people know about Elias?
Well, as far as real estate goes, started back in 1985 while I was still in college, and I was one of the top agents at the firm. Within a couple of years, started managing it, and then I joined Remax back in 1992, I believe. I opened my own firm in 2004. I had learned so much. I was in the mood of sharing my knowledge, and so I've been running my office for the last 13, 14 years. I've put together extensive training material that makes sense, easy to duplicate, simple, so that we can all be successful.
Mm-hmm. So when we were kids, not very many people are going through middle school and high school saying, I want to be a real estate agent, or I want to be a home inspector, or in the real estate field. I know I wanted to be a firefighter or in the Coast Guard, and that never materialized. But what did you want to be before you became a real estate agent? And exactly why did you become one? You started relatively early in your...
Yes. Yeah, I definitely didn't grow up saying I want to be a real estate agent. I actually went to Boston University to study computer science. Mm-hmm. And I started working in real estate only because my friend opened a real estate office and said, hey, come give it a try. Took the test, passed it. I started working there part-time in the beginning. And so when I graduated, I said, okay, what do I do now? Do I want to be sitting in front of a computer all day and programming, or do I want to work with people? And I chose the latter, started working with people. And yeah, I had no intention of getting into real estate like most real estate agents, but found myself falling in love with the profession and just the feeling you get when you help somebody purchase a home. At that time. Now, of course, it's the feeling I get when I help an agent succeed that really drives me.
That is great. So that's all great stuff. Today, we wanted to talk a little bit about what you like to instill in your real estate agents that you bring on board is the opportunity to create financial independence through real estate. And to you, what does financial freedom really mean?
So financial freedom is something that you don't learn about in school. It definitely comes from being in the workforce and thinking about the future and seeing, okay, do I want to work until I'm 65, 70, 80 years old, or at some point do I want to achieve financial freedom? Doesn't mean retirement. Financial freedom to me is at what point in your life will you be able to earn enough money on a monthly basis without having to work through investments. I'm in real estate, so we do it through real estate investments. So, for example, if I own 2, 3, 4, 5 condominiums and I rent them out and I receive whatever the amount is, $8,000 to $12,000 a month, well, that might be enough for me to live without actually having to go to work. Now, again, doesn't mean retirement. You can continue working if you love it, but pressure's off and you have to work unless you want to.
Yeah, I think that's what we all want. But how does one figure out how much money they need to actually make that money and not have to actually do a real job?
Good question. So the best way that, and I everybody who joins my office will go through this exercise. And what I ask them is, okay, what are your bills, your monthly bills? And how much would you need to sustain your lifestyle? Yes, there's different types of lifestyles. We can sustain what we have, and we can, trend towards luxury, I guess. But to start with, we try to figure out, what do you need to sustain your lifestyle? It might be $6,000 a month, it might be $20,000 a month. Depends on somebody's lifestyle. And, if it is $20,000 a month, then we have to also look at, okay, what are you spending your money on? Because that's so we try to come up with somewhere that's a reasonable number. Say, okay, if I lead a comfortable life, what would that amount be? And generally speaking, we come up with anywhere between $6,000 and maybe $12,000 a month.
So, for the average person that follows your plan, the way you help them, the goals you help them set, how long can it take for a newer agent to reach that point where they actually can think about financial independence?
Well, I think a lot of it depends on the person. A lot depends on their situation. So I've seen people do it in 10 years. Others have a 50-year plan. A lot of this involves the cycles of real estate. So it does depend on when you come into the business.
Absolutely.
And when you get started. And you don't even have to be a realtor to do this. You can be, doing any kind of job and say, okay, I want to see if I can invest. And it probably can be done with stocks, bonds. I don't know. I'm not in that field, and I don't have a clue about, what to say about stocks, bonds, and all that. Or it could be done through a business, or there's many different ways to achieve financial freedom through not having to work. If it was a business, for example, you might lease it out, rent it out to somebody else who's working it, and then giving you a portion of profits. So there's many different ways to go about it. The main thing is to figure out what the amount is. And if you are in real estate, then I can personally help you say, okay, how many houses do you need to sell? How much profit do you need a year to achieve? So we kind of work backwards and say, okay, what is your monthly amount? And if we were to say, okay, how many properties do you need to own? How many units do you need to own to get that amount? So, for example, if it was $10,000 and each condo that you purchase, the profit from it after the mortgage is paid off, for example, and your taxes and your condo fees are paid off, is $2,000, then you need 5 of those units. Well, how much does it cost you to buy those 5 condos? Then we say, okay, for each condo, for example, it's $500,000. So you need to earn $2.5 million in profits by those 5 condos. And then we have to look at, okay, that means if your time period is 10 years, you have to earn a profit of $250,000 per year to achieve that. If it's 20 years, then you cut that in half. So it depends on the person, how ambitious they are, and how much time they have in their hands to dedicate to this. And also, where we are in the cycles, because by investing in real estate at the same time, you could earn a lot more profits not from working. So if you invest in real estate tends to double or triple in value if you catch the cycle at the right time. So a lot of the money that you need to make the final investment towards your financial freedom could come from just investing at the right time with the right properties at the right place, and then seeing that investment grow so that in 5 to 10 years you can get there.
So I know there's a trend, in HGTV plasters it on every night, that the way to make your fortune in real estate is to buy and flip. But it seems more that you're more advocating a buy and hold as an investment over the long term rather than buy it and turn it around for profit.
You can do both. The key to any real estate investment is understanding where the market is. So if you're trying to do flips and the market, is 2006, for example, and the market's going down, then you're going to lose a lot of money. if you're doing flips and it's 2014, 2015, then yes, you could make a lot of money. But then again, you have to know what you're doing. You have to have somebody guiding you and saying, okay, yes, this is a good property to do it. No, that's not a good property to do it on. And there's always a learning curve of, okay, how do I flip properties? How do I hire the right contractors? Do I do some of the work myself? So there's a lot that goes into flipping. Buying and holding is a safer way to do it, but it takes longer, right? Because you need to hold on to it for 7 or 8 years. I have a certain number of clients that have been with me since 2010, for example. They started this journey, and in years they're selling. They're in the process. They bought 2, 3, 4 properties. They're in the process of selling them now, and one of them is walking away with about 1.2 million in profit. The other one's walking away with 1.5 million in profit. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we know how to do it. It's just a matter of what are the resources that the person starts with, and when they start. That's the other key. So yes, you can do it through flips, or you can do it through long term, or a combination of both. Maybe a couple of flips.
Yeah, I'm more of a buy and hold person as well.
Right.
So,
right.
It makes more sense to me. Just one last question on this is, for the novice investor that buys several properties, do you recommend they hire a management company to deal with the day-to-day business of those units, or is it better that they do it on their own, or is it dependent on the individual?
The first couple, probably better to do it on your own, just so you can learn, what it takes. And plus the profits, because if you hire somebody, obviously some of or a lot of your profits are going up.
Talking about 8% roughly per door.
Right. And maybe the beginning when you're first starting, your margins are pretty close. So as the market gets better, then your rents are going up also. And so maybe the second or third year, you're able to hire somebody to look after your properties. And it's hard to find a management company that will look after one property that you have. Once you have 2, maybe 3, that becomes easier because you can package it, and it makes it worthwhile for the management company to say, okay, we'll take care of your 3 properties or 4 properties or whatnot.
So as a person deals with the natural 5, 10, 20-year cycles of the real estate market, should they also take into account inflation when calculating what they need?
One of the good things about investing in real estate is it's inflation proof. As prices go up in general lifestyle and living, as the price of goods goes up, so does real estate, and so do rents. So I always advise people to just say, okay, what do I need today? If I was going to reach financial freedom today, what's the number? Is it 6,000, 7,000, 10,000?
Right.
What is the number today? And obviously 20 years from now, 30 years from now, cost of living would have gone up. And if you needed 6,000 today, maybe you need 12,000 in 30 years or 20 years. But the good thing is that rents would also have gone up. So I think real estate is pretty inflation proof when it comes to financial freedom. It's like if you look back, 20, 30 years ago, I remember when I bought my first house in 1987, we're getting $700 for rent. That same unit today rents for close to $2,000. So it does adjust for inflation. So we don't have to worry too much about that.
So that takes care of itself as well.
It does. It does.
What if somebody's situation changes? For my generation, our parents are getting older. As they pass away, it's not something we really want to think about, but people come into money different ways, or sometimes they run into problems where they run out of money.
Sure.
What if somebody's financial situation changes?
So this is very expandable. The way to think about it is you're stacking properties one on top of the other, and you don't have to stop. So if, for example, you're younger and you say, geez, all I need today is 6,000, but 10 years from now, you're the kids are there, you're married, and
Right.
now it takes 10,000. Well, if 6,000, and we'll stick to that 2,000 per unit for now.
Right.
But if 6,000 is 3 units, okay, 10,000 is 5 units. So
Right.
all I have to do is continue working to acquire a couple of more properties, and now I'm set. And when we get towards retirement, the hope is that our kids are okay and they're taking care of themselves, and
Right.
so our needs will decrease back down to the equivalent of what 6,000 is today. So so you can stack on more properties. There's no end in sight. You can continue going. So if you can, if you do real well and you achieve your 10-year plan in 7 years, or you say, you know what, yeah, I got the 10 years are done. I achieved what I wanted to, but I'm still young. I still want to work, and maybe I can add to it. Sure. Bring it up to 15,000, bring it up to 20,000, whatever you want to bring it up to. And at some point, it's just going to feed itself where, if your cost of living stays at 10,000, for example, but you're earning 20,000 because of all the rentals coming in, well, now that extra 10,000 that you're getting per month can go towards purchasing another property and another property. So it can get to a point where the tipping point, if you would, where the progress itself, the program itself is feeding into new properties and to expanding what your financial freedom looks like. And hopefully at some point you get to a point where you can give some of it away through charities, through other means, helping other people. And I think that's the ultimate point in life where we have enough to help others.
Exactly. And that's been my goal. That's how we founded this business.
Right.
And it's part of our vision statement that we should be giving back to the community. So,
right.
Do you have a success quote that you think of all the time that you'd be willing to share with us?
Off the top of my head, what pops into my head is, and this is something that we use in our office all the time, together we can go a lot further than one person can go alone. Alone we can go faster, but together we can go a lot further. Right. And I love that because, it shows that teamwork is what helps you achieve success. Nobody is an island. Nobody can do it all on their own to the same degree that you can do it with. And, just in our office, we have many agents that are reaching their goals, that are achieving their dreams, making anywhere from, just 6 figures to close to 4 figures. There are ways to do it. It is achievable. And, some people are stuck on being employed and, being told what they're going to earn and what they're going to earn year in and year out. One of the beauties about, I think, the self-employment that we're both in, Todd, that you can create your own ceilings. You can, the more you work, the more you get paid. So there's nobody telling you you can't earn more than this.
Right.
So I think if people, and there is some risk involved in that, obviously, in being self-employed or being an independent contractor. So if people are willing to take some risk and are passionate enough to be able to succeed, then anything is possible. To me, to be a self-employed, you need 3 things. You need passion. You got to love what you want to do. You need some kind of systems, which I know you have a lot of systems also.
Yeah, we try.
We have a lot of systems here to show people how to succeed. And then the third thing, you need to take action. Nothing happens in life unless you make a plan and then put it into action. So that's my advice.
That sounds great. Well, thank you for talking with us. I'd love to sit down and talk to you again, maybe about the systems that you help your agents come up with to reach their goals and achieve their financial independence. This has been really great. You've been very helpful with me, just helping me achieve my goals, and I really appreciate that. And I know you work really, really hard with your agents to help them achieve what their goals are. And I know the folks that have listened have really achieved their goals. So thank you very much once again. Is there anything you think I should have asked you but didn't?
No, I think you did a pretty good job.
All right.
I think we covered, I can go on for days here, but I think you covered the subject pretty well. And if anybody has any questions on this, I'm sure you'll post some way of getting in touch with us, and
Absolutely.
we'll absolutely love to help them. I'm willing to sit down with anybody who's interested in this and discussing it more. So I'm open to that. That's one of the ways I give back, is to be able to stay open and share this knowledge, because again, you don't learn this in school, and I think it's a shame. I think schools should teach people how to save, how to achieve success, how to achieve financial freedom, but unfortunately that doesn't exist right now.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for watching the MBPI Home Inspection Network.